So, I don't usually do this. I've never done this actually, but since I've growing a community, I feel like it's important for me, anyways. And this is just me. This is just how I do. But sorry, I'm a little nervous. I kind of feel like I should explain like what's been going on with me the last few days, the last few weeks, even. I'm sure some of you guys have probably noticed. I'm a little down. I'm a little blue lately, and that's no one's fault. That's fault no one for that. There's no like it's not like God, I can't even talk. A couple streams back, like maybe 5 days back or so, I said that this year had been the absolute worst for me, but I never went into detail. So this is me going into detail. So about let me think about it. First off, February, all this madness happened. I was so close to getting out of my job because I was so extremely unhappy, and then this just hit out of nowhere. Got super busy, and I'm not the kind of guy that can just screw people over. Even if I'm unhappy, I can't do that. No matter what, I can't do stuff like that. It's just not in my person. It's just not in here. I can't do that. And so I ended up staying. I'm still there. And then March, my best friend moves in with me, which is cool. I'm totally fine with that. And it's funny because people keep asking, are you guys fight? Like, is there like tension? Da, da, da. It's like, no, I'm totally fine, and so is he. Like, honestly, the thing about it is, yeah, I grew up with a sister, and I grew up with parents, but I've always felt somewhat alone being in this room all by myself. So having someone move in and live with me is like perfect. It was totally perfect. He's my best friend in the whole wide world. I love this guy to death and beyond. So of course I wanted him to live with me. Especially since he had nowhere else to go, and since he was stuck in a situation that he didn't want to be in. No way ever am I gonna let one of my friends, let alone my best friend, be stuck in a situation he doesn't want to be in. I can't do that. It's not in here. It's not in here. I can't do that. And then April, my birthday, about the best month of the whole year, pretty much. Because then May, that's when everything started going down. May 27th, I was 2 to 10. My boss tells me I can leave at 9:30. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? She tells me I can leave at 9:30. So I'm like, okay. So I left. My parent, because I still live at home. I don't have a car. I'm working on it though. I'm working on it. One of the things I'm looking forward to with hitting affiliate is finally getting enough money to get me a car. I can drive. It's just I don't have a car. And the reason I don't have a car is because I take care of my parents and I prioritize their care over my ability to hang out with people. Because I can hang out just fine. That's what Uber and Lyft is for. I'm perfectly fine in that area. But so my parents are there. We go home, and it's just something just hit. It was off. Why? Did my boss said I could leave early, and my parents were there before I even told them I was off. Something felt fishy. They got me home. They took me to their bedroom, and then they told me one of my uncles had died. My mom's youngest brother. My mom has 4 brothers, and her youngest was the one that died. And it devastated me because I loved him like a second father. which is huge for me. Huge for me. Because to me, I only have one father and one mother. So for me to say I loved someone like a father means something. When I say that, it means something. And I loved him to death. And it really hit me hard. It really hit me hard. But I was like, okay. You know, I mean, death happens all the time. But even this, it's like, I was devastated. Especially when the next morning, my parents told me how he died. They said they didn't want to tell me that night because they knew I wouldn't be able to handle it. And boy, were they right. My uncle took his own life. You know, growing up, you hear about suicide, you hear all this activity against it, you hear of all this awareness against it. And you think, oh, it's never going to happen to me, 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 and then boom, it happens, and it completely sideswipes you. And that's how it happened to me. It completely sideswiped me. I just didn't expect it. I mean, how do you expect something like that? When they told me, I broke. I called work and said, look, I'm sorry. I've had a death in the family. I can't come in. And I broke. I broke. I cried for weeks. And then I finally stopped crying. And then June 18th, one of my most nearest, dearest best friends in the entire world, a dude I had known since I was 12 and since he was my age, the age I am right now. This guy mentored me. This guy took me under his wing and molded me. This guy helped me become, this guy taught me some stuff that I still take with me to this day. And June 18th, I wake up and what do I see on Facebook? He died in his sleep. From a heart, or not in his sleep, he died from a heart attack. At 37. I mean, he was a veteran. He had done tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. And he had bad PTSD, so maybe that played a part in it, but it devastated me. It devastated me. And I hated it. Again, non-stop crying. For the longest time, non-stop crying. For like 3-4 weeks almost, non-stop. Crying every day. Hiding it from my best friend, hiding it from my family, hiding it from people at work. And then July 16th, a day I was actually starting to feel happy. I come home. And my mom's in tears. And I'm scared to ask why. And they tell me my grandmother died. My mom's mom. Her last surviving parent. In 3 months' time, my mom lost her youngest brother and her mother. And it devastated her. And it devastated me. It was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking seeing my mother go through that. Still going through that. I mean, how do you lose your mother and your brother and come back from it? I mean, she was my grandmother and he was my uncle, and I'm still having a hard time coming back from it. I still can't cope with it. I still can't understand it. I still can't understand it. I just don't get it. At that point, all I felt like saying was, God, what are you doing to me? I didn't know what to think. all this guilt and sadness and regret I felt. Regret because my uncle moved. My uncle moved to North Carolina a year before he passed away. And I hate myself for the fact that I had to work on the day when he came over to my house and said bye to us personally. I hate myself for it every damn day. I'm left with so much regret. And my best friend, I reached out to him so many times and he never hit me back. But I still kept trying. Sometimes he would, but I still kept trying. My biggest regret was that I never got to tell them how much I love them, or how grateful I was to them for everything they meant to me and everything they did for me. That is my biggest regret. And it's something I'm going to have to take to my grave. Or hopefully sometime down the line I'll figure out a way to get past it. But I just don't see that right now. I just can't see it right now. I just can't. But I'm trying. And I'm trying. I'm trying my damnedest to get past it. I'm trying so hard to get past it, but it's so tough. It's so difficult. And just when I was finally done crying, here come the holidays. And I think, great, my favorite time of year. But oh, I'm never going to see my grandmother again. I'm never going to sit across from her at the Thanksgiving table again. I'm never going to hear from my uncle again. I'm not going to see him Christmas Eve anymore. I'm sorry. It's just so hard getting up every day and burying all this deep inside me so I can put on a face for my mom and my dad and my sister. It's so damn tough. Hell, the day after I found out my grandmother died, when I went into work, I broke. And I cried in front of everybody. Just like I'm doing right now. And there's nothing wrong with crying. There's absolutely nothing wrong with crying. I just hate it. I hate it more than I ever have because it's all I've done these last 8 months. No, not 8 months. 6 months. It's all I've done these last 6 months. And I'm sick of it. And then I finally meet someone that I think is into me. And I'm happy about it. I'm excited about it. And then she starts ghosting me. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need you in my life anyways. And then I started talking to this other girl. God. Literally without a doubt one of the coolest females I've ever met in my entire life. Literally without a doubt. And I'm filled with nothing but fear. Nothing but fear. And it drives me mad. But every day, I get up out of this bed, and I do my damnedest not to cry. And I do my damnedest to remember all the good things that I still have. I still have my mom. I still have my dad. I still have my sister, my absolute best friend, my first friend, my dearest friend. I still have my best friend, the guy I call my little brother that lives with me. And now I have you guys. And I haven't felt so much joy in a long time. I haven't felt so much joy in such a long time. Because I also struggle with depression. And those 3 months, well, what do you think it did? And I'm trying my best to try and stay positive. But it gets tough. Some days it'll be easy. Some days it'll be super easy. Just put on that fake smile, walk out the door, and just act like nothing's wrong with the world or your own world. And some days I don't even want to get out of bed. Some days I just want to stay in bed and just act like I have nothing to do. Because I'm afraid the second I step out of bed, I'm just going to start crying. And I'm so done with crying. I'm so done with crying I could scream. But I had to come on here and let you guys know what's been going on with me. I am okay. I'm in one of the most emotional state, and one of the biggest emotional states of my entire life. But I personally, in here, I'm okay. I'm okay. It gets to me every once in a while. And I'm so sick of just keeping it to myself. And I hope you guys don't mind me sharing any of this with you. Because I need to share it with somebody. I need to share it with somebody. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for getting emotional. Like I said, I know it's not a big deal. I know there's nothing wrong with a guy getting emotional. There isn't. And if anyone tells you that, do not listen to them. The reason I'm going to live for as long as I know I'm going to is because I don't keep it all bottled inside. Yeah, I know I said I try to, but at the end of the day, I come home and I just let it all out. Or at least I try to. But I'm going to start doing that. And that's what this is. Because I want you guys to know what's going on. And I want you guys to know it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay. And if you feel any of those, hit me up. And I will talk you through it. Because I've been through so much. I doubt there's... Well, no, I'm not going to say that. But if you guys ever need me, I'm here for you. Because I love you. I'm one of the most... This feels so arrogant saying this, but I'm one of the most loving guys on the planet. Literally. That's all it takes. Literally. An instant. All I need to do is say, hey. You just say, hey back. Tell me your name. And I love you. I love you. And I always will. And that's the kind of guy I've always been. And that's the kind of guy I'm always going to be. And I'm not going to change that for anyone. Because this is too valuable to change. You are too valuable to change for anyone. Don't ever let anyone change you. I'm not going to. So please don't. Well, anyways. So I think I'm going to do this maybe, it's Thursday, maybe every other night. Just to let you guys know what's going on with me. But I love all you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And a big shout out to all my friends that have gotten me this far. Their names are iStubs, Kid Legacy, Pretty Boy 1738, CSO, God Goddess 46, ex-Bob Swagger, Nathan Makio, and a bunch of others. But I love each and every one of you the same. You guys, it's not a lie to say you guys mean the world to me. Because you do. But you guys don't just mean the world to me. You are my world.